Hello, my peeps. So I began looking into making puffed rice for a snack, or as a potential breakfast cereal. I found some conflicting videos claiming that you need to cook the rice before puffing, and some that said you don't. So today I'm going to be making two types of puffed rice. One that's directly puffed, and one that's been cooked first. The results were that both came out super tasty, but they had vastly different textures and flavors, so I'll talk about this at the end of the video. I'm going to start with the uncooked puffs. So today I'm going to be using some short grain rice because it's what I have laying around, but you can literally use anything you want, including wild grains of rice. And in fact, this method actually applies to puffing other stuff as well, such as amaranth or buckwheat, so really it's a very general process. To puff the rice, we'll actually be using oil, so we need to start by heating this oil. Now oil is not strictly necessary, but the name of the game is raising the temperature of the grain from room temperature to 180 degrees Celsius, or 350 degrees Fahrenheit, as quickly as possible. That being said, there are alternative ways of doing this. In China, for example, they have a special steam kettle that has some weird explosive thing that is kind of like a cannon. And in India, they actually heat sand and use this as the energy transfer method to puff the rice. I might try the sand method someday in the future, but in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and go for the simplest method, which is oil. Okay, now one last thing we need to do while the oil is still heating up is just grab another pot and a sieve and have this ready on the side. You'll need this for actually straining the rice later. Once the oil is heated up to 180 degrees Celsius, we can go ahead and throw in a test grain. If it begins to puff up, we're ready to go. Pour the rice into the oil and let it sit for about 5 to 10 seconds. It doesn't take long, and really the rice will begin to immediately puff. Once it's ready, we can actually begin the process of sieving the rice. Now here, please be super extra careful. The next step, it's super dangerous, so just very carefully pour the rice and oil into another pot through the sieve, and this will catch all of the rice and actually stop the cooking. So this rice is now done. I'll compare them, as I said, at the end of the video, but for some extra flavor, I added some sugar and cinnamon here, but feel free to add whatever your heart desires. Now let's make the cooked version. To make this kind, we need to cook the rice first. I went for the easy way and used my rice cooker, which is completely fine. I let the rice cooker do its thing for 20 minutes, and once it was done, I began putting it into my dehydrator. We need to remove the water because otherwise when puffing in the oil, water will be trapped within the grains of rice, and we'll end up with a soggy, greasy mess. So I just put this into my dehydrator and I let it sit overnight, and the next day I began pulling apart the clumps to try to get the grains separated. If given the chance, next time I would have probably used a less sticky rice so that they would have separated a little easier. But they still turned out great, so it wasn't the end of the world. Once we're done with this, we can repeat the process as we did with the uncooked rice. Heat up the oil to 180 degrees C, put in a test grain, and then everything. Cook for about 5 to 10 seconds, carefully strain the rice into another pot, and then we're done with this one. So comparing the two, let's just start with the cooked one. Now, the pre-cooked rice definitely puffs up a lot more. It has a far less dense and a more crispy texture, similar to what you would have, for example, in Rice Krispie treats. It's very soft and easy to chew. It has almost kind of a corn smell, so it's actually very comparable, I would say, to popcorn. Now, for the uncooked puffed rice, it's far denser. It didn't puff up as much, but it's still pretty tasty. It's more akin to like a seed or a nut. It has a nice ricey flavor, and it's got a really nice crunch to it. For cereal or Rice Krispie treats, I would definitely go with the cooked method of puffed rice, and for a crunchy snack, I think I would actually choose the uncooked version. Well, that's it for today, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.